In this video, I'm going to give you guys two reasons why I think the crypto bull cycle could potentially be happening, or the altcoin season, on March 12th. So in about 4 days from now, or 3 days, sorry, we should see the altcoin season starting. But of course, we're also going to be having a look at other scenarios or other news that may not trigger the altcoin season and why we could potentially be entering a bear market. So obviously, I'm going to give you guys two scenarios on what could happen based on history, based on facts, based on charts, macroeconomics, inflation, interest rate, FOMC, some big news that are supposed to be happening this week, and etc. So if you guys do like these videos, of course, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, leave a like, turn those notification bells on so you guys never miss a video. Everything behind me is pretty much red. You guys can see we got Jupiter, Doge, everything's down between 30 to 40%. We're talking about the last 30 days alone, so that's not even including what's happening in the last 40 days. Everything pretty much has been tanking. If we have a look right here at Bitcoin, let me just switch tabs real quick. You guys can actually see, in fact, that ever since pretty much Bitcoin launched his cryptocurrency right here, Bitcoin is actually down, or did go down to as low as 28%, as you guys can see. So this is obviously very, very, bearish news, or whatever you want to call it. This was 3 days before he pretty much got elected. We saw a 5% pump to the upside, which was literally nothing. Everyone thought, oh, Donald Trump's in the office, Bitcoin's up 5%. Like, yeah, we're going to the moon. Bitcoin's up like, $7,000. And pretty much obviously what happened, if you guys have been following this channel, I told you guys, not only in my Discord not too long, because it is not that easy to make money. Everyone thought that when Donald Trump goes into office, people think they could 100x their cryptocurrency and they're going to make money. That's not how it works. A lot of people got liquidated, hence why this massive dump happened. And pretty much that's about it. Now, a few days ago, the White House tweeted, actually yesterday, they said something about Bitcoin. I can't really see. They said America will be Bitcoin's superpower of the Bitcoin world. I can't see. My screen's a little bit far away, but pretty much that's what they said. What happened? Instant tank. Every time Donald Trump, it doesn't matter who it is, the White House tweets, it tanks. Okay, so we're going to be having a look, obviously, at the bearish news first. This is the number one bearish news. Number two bearish news is pretty much this, okay? Hidden bearish divergence, weekly. How bad is this? If we have a look at this chart, this was right here in 2021. What did we see? A higher high, and on our side, we saw a lower high. What happens? Boom, the bear market started. We saw a massive, massive dump all the way to as low as, I believe, $16,000, $15,000. Now, exactly the same thing is happening right here. We're seeing right here a higher high. As you guys can see, this is a higher high. Let me just switch side. We're seeing a higher high right here. And of course, on the bottom, we are seeing another lower high on the regular RSI, not the stochastic RSI, sorry. So obviously, this pattern right here behind me is not the most bullish pattern you want to be looking to into crypto. If history does repeat itself, this could be the start of a massive, massive dump. How low can Bitcoin go? I don't know, maybe 50,000, maybe 45,000. I don't think we're going to go to as low as 16. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to go below 30,000. I know we have support at 30,000, but obviously that's only if this pattern plays out. And if we do go below, like 60 or $55,000, you could expect a multi-year bear market. I don't know if that's going to happen. Good news. Okay, let's dive into the good news on what could happen. True inflation is predicting that the inflation just dropped down to 1.4%. That is obviously very, very bullish if this is happening. Now, why am I saying March 12th? On March 12th, okay, we have the inflation announcement. So if we actually go on the USA inflation data, we know that the previous inflation data was actually 3%. You guys can see right here, 3%. Now, we know that the next announcement is, of course, right here, sorry, at 12:30 p.m. GMT time. Okay, so that's what's happening on March 12th. So in about 3 days from now, we should be getting massive, massive news. I believe that's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. Today we are Sunday. So yeah, it's going to be Monday, Tuesday. It's going to be Tuesday. We should be having, or Wednesday, sorry, we should be having some massive, massive news regarding the inflation data. If we do see it dropping down to 1.4%. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, guys. Remember, true inflation, I don't know if this is legit or not. Anything could happen, but assuming that it is at 1.4%, then we could see some massive, massive news regarding the inflation data. That means that inflation will go down to 1.4%, which will be way below the forecast. You guys can see right here the TEF forecast right here, or TEF forecast and consensus, is currently sitting at 2.9%. So assuming right here that it does fall, below 2.9, let alone 1.4%, you could expect the market to really blow up. And I'm not talking about like 10% pump. I'm talking about a major altcoin season. So like I said, I don't know if trueflation is legit or not. And the reason why I'm saying it's not only because of that, it's because of interest rate as well. And you guys can see right here, interest rate are pretty much an all-time high. Yeah, we saw a few basis points cut down. We saw the market pump. Everyone thought it was going to go to zero, but then boom, flat. Federal Reserve comes in. We're not going to cut any more interest rate. Boom. What happens? Crypto dumps. So we're going to have to see what happens here. We do have FOMC right here, March 19, which could be positive. Obviously, you guys can see that the forecast is currently sitting at 4.5%. The previous was 4.5%. So they're planning on not cutting any sort of interest rate, right? So that's obviously not the best news. But if we see, guys, remember this, if we see an inflation cut to 1.4%, if we see inflation going down, you could expect on FOMC on March 19, 2025, which is about roughly 10 days from now, you could essentially see a massive pump in crypto. So that's why I'm saying if everything plays out the way it's supposed to, you could see obviously very good news. Now I know overall a bunch of good news, especially on the Trump and the White House and the crypto summit that they had has been absolutely a disaster for crypto. Every single good news that's been happening and coming out in crypto, Donald Trump, the White House, crypto summit, White House, whatever you guys want to call it, SEC, it just has not been good. Okay, the bad news are dumping crypto even more, such as tariffs. Okay, 100% tariffs on Canada. There's a trade war, 25% on China, 20% on Canada, Mexico, etc. Obviously, it's a global disaster on the trade war side, which is obviously not the best sign, not the best news. But assuming that we have a low inflation, that could be obviously a good start. If interest rate do come down and does come down, that could obviously a good start. So we're gonna have to see what happens if literally inflation does not come down and this true inflation website was a lie. Obviously, we're most likely gonna see crypto dumping even more. We're most likely going to see the stock market dump even more. We're going to have to see what happens this upcoming week. I think this week right here is probably going to be one of the most important week for crypto analysis wise. I'm not talking about Trump and the White House and the news and the SEC and the freaking Federal Reserves. I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about just crypto in general. I think this is going to be very important, and it's really going to dictate where we are going to go next. Are we going to see a bounce? Are we going to crash? Is Ethereum going to go below $2,000? If Ethereum doesn't need to go to below $2,000, that could be very bad for altcoins, including, meme coins, including coins on Solana and etc. So we're going to have to see what happens. Make sure you guys stick around. Make sure you guys don't essentially use high leverage, okay? Because if you think you catch the bottom, you cannot. If you think you caught the top, you cannot either. Don't go high leverage, don't short, don't long, stay sideline. That's what I'm doing. If you guys do want to join my Discord, the link will be in the description below, and I will see you guys in my next video tomorrow.